Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all is well with you all and you and your families are doing okay. You know what, social media have its good and its bad. And even though it's a dangerous place to be, we have to say sometimes thank God for social media. Because many things that was in secret has been exposed. Many deeds cannot be hidden anymore and people's eyes are open more to what is going on in real time. One such area that has been exposed and we are able to see the disadvantage taken is of children, because for decades children had no voice or an avenue where help or justice can be swift, and the perpetrators are quickly publicized. That's one of the great things with social media. The thing with social media, though some may find it funny and annoying sometimes, is that everyone is FBI, everyone a lawyer. You have judges there, you have jurors there, and we all have one investigators on social media. What that means is that there is now much of any secrets that is kept away from social media, unfortunately, because some things where it have to be with people personal relationship and so on, it could at least stay off social media. But it's the time we are in. Social media is where everybody come vent, is where everything exposed, because the thing is, people will do anything for taps, roses, likes, and notoriety and knowings. So you will find community members are much more quicker to bring information to share on social media rather than even going to the police station to report anything to the police. This has to be studied. Why? The good thing though is it has helped to solve many cases. So it's needless to say the police force has to keep their eyes on social media, because it will be an integral part of their day-to-day knowings of what is happening in the society, and it will assist them with many cases. Look for example in recent days the disappearance of a very promising Manchester student, Jaden Smith. He went missing a few weeks ago. Information is Jaden Smith never grew up with his parents, and it is said his mother couldn't manage to keep him, and she gave him to his father at a tender age. And the father never kept him either and unloaded him onto his auntie and uncle. He was treated like an outcast. That's the allegation. A child that's really not wanted and loved by anyone, and was the slave, the little sent out child in the family. However, he was a brilliant student, and throughout all this, nothing could stop him in his schoolwork, no matter what he had to deal with at home. And he even have gained the attention of the MP for the area, Rhoda Moy Crawford. Jaden Smith, only 12 years old, was in the 7th grade, and his teachers and his friends are missing him. And somehow the community believe that the family is responsible, because there was an altercation at the house where there is a foreign baby living at the house, only 2-year-old. I guess the mother lived overseas. The child was born American citizen, but it's hard when you have a job and you have a baby, because babysitting is very costly. So it was much easier to send the child to Jamaica to the parents while the mother was able to continue her work. So that baby, Jayen, is the child that is in the house with Jaden. So you don't know, them kids bring the barrel to the home. This child is a prize bull. This child brings in the US dollars. So this child is treated special. Somehow, Jaden was playing with the child and the child's foot broke. It could be a situation where it's children. Accidents do happen. You understand? But of course, most likely it's easier to say it's Jaden's fault. Although the family is not saying that outright now, but we have common sense, because they must have been angry. So they're saying that they weren't angry with Jaden, they didn't ask Jaden nothing, they didn't scold Jaden. Somehow that is hard to believe. However, they all rush the child to the hospital. At that time, Jaden was there with them. However, the mother of the child whose foot was broken flew to Jamaica the very next day. Well, based on the impression that the family is giving, like it wasn't a big deal, there was no animosity, there was no anger or anything. How did it reach so far that the mother have to fly in the next day for a broken foot? The parents already rushed the child to the hospital, because in Jamaica, even have children and play football. Even me myself have my son and they play football and so on when they're younger, going to school. And one come on with a broken foot. The routine, you go to the hospital, of course, you're going to pain and all of that. And then put on them casts and all that. No life, no loss. But it was so angering. So much so that the mother felt the need to fly to Jamaica the very next day. And these people are trying to give us the impression as if they never said anything to Jaden or wasn't upset with Jaden, and no talks went on about it. However, Jaden went to school the next day, while the mother of the child, Jayen with the broken foot, was on her way to Jamaica. When school over the same day, he got a message that the mother of the child whose foot is broken, who flew from the USA, was to meet him to carry him go by KFC. This is not a confirmed information, it's just that one of the his schoolmates saw him waiting after school instead of walking with them home, and they said to him, "Jaden, you're not coming?" Him said no. Them tell him that he must wait on his cousin coming for him. However, it turned out she said she never met Jaden and went for Jaden. And all of a sudden, the same day she arrived, Jaden went missing. After that, no more sighting of Jaden. Something is radically wrong right there, so the coincidence is too coincident. Nothing more than they may have hit Jaden get a bad hit, and they panic and discard of the body and them covering it up. Because just remember, US dollar strong, and Jamaica will sell out each other just for money. Worse, that little boy Jaden, apart from the family that he's growing up with, nobody ain't looking about him in terms of trying desperately to find out if he's okay and all that, in terms of his parents. Because this family who he lives with has full charge of him. So it's all up to them. Bear in mind, based on the community and what the school said and even what the family said, Jaden is not known to give any trouble. His school can attest to that. Just bear in mind, people don't go missing in Jamaica for more than a week and still turn up alive. If we were to listen what the so-called family is saying, that Jaden went to school and then he ran away, we have to then ask this question. Jaden is only 12-year-old. What could have made Jaden so scared right after his 2-year-old cousin's foot got broken to believe he has to run away to save himself? What? Because these people are giving the impression we didn't even shout at him, we didn't even ask him anything about anything, and so on, because we love Jaden so much. You people are liars from the pit of hell. Because even if I have a child and I even broke a plate, me I go cuss. It's just natural. That's how we stay. Even though we are going to pass it, we still are going to cuss. Oh, you managed to break the plate. You could have more careful. You know, it's just a natural reaction. This child got so scared out of his mind, he has to run away. That's what the family want us to believe, that he just run away. No, them need to tell us what scared him to believe that he had to run away. The child don't just get up and run away, sir. The guy is such a logical child that he is one of them top boys for this school in terms of intelligence, articulate, smart and bright. What would have scared him so much? So we're supposed to say and believe what the family is saying. He just ran away. What scared him then? Why him just take up himself and run? Knowing him now no mama to run to, him not have no father to run to, him not have no family when no place and no part, him never have to take no bus to go nowhere by himself, him not know no way out and no port nowhere. You get what I'm saying? And nobody no see him know about the place. All these different distraction in people saying, oh, we see him there, so we see him there, so we're all fake news to distract the police from really that Jaden demise happened straight in his hometown amongst his family. Yet they want us to believe they never spoke to Jaden about what happened to the 2-year-old child. The family is lying. Because if it was that simple, you want to tell me it created such a stir, so much so the mother had to fly in from the USA the next day, and they want us to believe that no, they have not spoken to Jaden about the incident. They instead saying, oh, they were going to take him to go buy pizza. Pizza? No scolding about what he did. No talk about what happened to the prize diamond in the family 2-year-old non-Jamaican citizen that got damaged in the house. You can tell a fool that Tom drunk but Tom no fool. Only offer of pizza to Jaden. That don't make sense. That need to be studied by a special team. The whole family is lying. I hear the mother of the 2-year-old when they were speaking to her. She said, you know how Jamaica stay. Anything could happen. Jaden could try to run away and probably somebody take him away and Cam go hurt them. Yeah, because guess what happened? You guys are relying on the fact that yes, Jamaica is toxic and criminal activities and attacks on adults and children are rampant, but this case, nobody on the external had nothing to do with it. Me not ask Christ. It's too coincide with the fact that her 2-year-old child foot get broken. You know, strangely, this reminds me of a similar case with the Leota Bradshaw case, because Leota Bradshaw came from overseas to come find her mate and the baby and take them out. This mother, I believe, came from the USA, ignorant because her son's foot got broken, and the person who broke the foot or caused the foot to break in her mind most likely is Jaden, and was the author of his demise. She personally came down to deal with the matter herself. The funny thing about it, the next day she flew back to the USA. So imagine, the child foot got broken, say today, she flew in tomorrow, and Jaden went missing and she flew back out the next day. Jaden has not been found since she arrived and since she gone. What a coincidence. Trust and believe. I would really, really love to be wrong. And Jaden is found alive and well. But based on the fact that we're dealing with Jamaican people, we know the chances of that is nil. Because if she say, for example, for argument's sake, hit Jaden the wrong way, enough that say, the child end up in a hospital or whatever, she would end up get locked up and she'll lose her US visa and her job when she have overseas. So at the end of the day, they couldn't afford to do that. You know, you're trying to read up what goes on in the mind. Jaden is not amongst the land of the living. I do believe that. I tell you, say, my own people, them wicked. Now, the latest update, I heard a body was found near the backside plant in Manchester, and it's believed to be Jaden. Police are doing their investigation to confirm the identity. So even though we are saying, yeah, true, we really believe a Jaden, we're still trying to have a ray of hope. So it is not confirmed that is definitely him. So the investigation is going on. So you know, so I will have to come update you guys quick and fast when the investigation is complete. I'm telling you, children of Jamaica are crying out for help. See, just recently, a little 13-year-old girl used to go to school in Kingston, but was sent to live with her father in a rural parish, only for him to start taking a fancy to his own daughter. His woman found out, moved out, and tried to get the daughter to go and complain at the police station, but she did not want to go. However, his girlfriend reported it to the police, and the only thing the police said to her was to tell the 13-year-old to come into the police station, come report it. I should not trust police. This is a thing, you know, a lot of people don't gladly go to the police and say things because they don't see the police as a safety net and that it will make things better. See it there? Soon after, she was found burnt out in a fridge behind her house, and the father is now behind bars. My problem is I believe our police officers need to be appropriately trained. Once there is a cry for help for a child that is underage, even for adults, but especially children, the child should not have to go into the police station. Once the police get some information, because that's how police work off information, them never have the facts up front, you know. They should do a wellness check and offer a secure environment where the child will feel safe while they investigate. Just maybe this 13-year-old girl would be alive today if the police had just went to the house and did something. We need to pay attention more to our youths. These things are happening too often. I know there are some cases where we don't able to get any insight into what is going on before the ultimate situation arises. But for crying out loud, when there is some information given that there's possibly some disadvantage being taken of a child, the police should act on it. You understand? You know, the funny thing, when people are voting, they're not voting on these kind of issues. We need more intervention. You understand? Boy. Anyway, let's pray for our children, and we wait justice for Jaden, and we really want to know what happened to him. Such a promising life he had ahead of him, and I await the outcome if it is confirmed that it's Jaden. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.